So today we have a message for you, and it came in, this message of dealing with our dark side. And I want to ask you, they call it today, we have this phrase called shadow work. Have you heard of this? Shadow work, doing shadow work. What does that mean to you to do shadow work, on yourself and dealing with your dark side, dealing with the darker elements of your spirit, your soul, whatever that means to you, the parts of you that are behind closed doors, the parts of you that aren't always revealed to everyone else. How do you deal with what's unrevealed? How do you heal what you do not reveal? That part of you that nobody knows, because there's that part of everyone that we may never know, that these things that are in the dark, may they ever come out to the light. So awesome. Wondering, what does it bring up for you? And how do you deal with your dark side? How do you see your dark side? There's a quote that came in that we got, this wonderful quotation, and I loved it so much I wanted to memorize it for myself. It says, "Only in my pain did I find my will. Only in my chaos did I learn to be still. Only in my fear did I find my might. Only in my darkness did I see my light." How does this speak to you? In what ways can you relate to this passage here? Has it been times when you were in great pain that you found your will, that you found something within you to muster up that courage, that strength to overcome that adversity, to go through that obstacle, that you were stronger than it? Did you find strength in pain? Were they growing pains? Were they something that you grew from, or something that you shrunk down? There's a saying in the Navy SEALs, I believe, that we never rise to the occasion, but we sink to the level of our training. That's what they say. That you are equipped for what you're equipped for, but in the circumstances, we don't necessarily rise. We actually sink down to that level that we're able to handle. Do you feel like all the pressure that's been put on you in life, here you are, you made it, but in that situation, in that adversity and that pressure, did you feel like you were going to make it? Were there times in your life that you felt like you weren't going to make it? Times that got really dark? The hero's journey, your story, your book of life. Were there times where you didn't know what was going to be around the corner? You didn't know what was going to be on the other side, but you mustered through anyways. Somehow you gathered your resources, you gathered the strength to make it through. What have you overcome like this in your life? In your chaos, right? Did you learn to be still? How did you learn to recenter yourself? When the hurricane, the tornado was all around you, right? The hurricane, how did you put yourself in the eye? The calmest place in the storm. And when the hurricane moved, did you move with it? When life tried to move you, were you moved? Or were you unshaken? Were you unmoved? Were you still able to be at peace? And have there been times when you have been very fearful, but that you found that might, that courage in those fearful times, right? Susan B. Jeffers, feel the fear and do it anyway. How did you overcome your fears? How did you deal with the dark side? And in your darkness, did you find your light? What sort of shadow work have you done in your life? We'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it. Let us know. Tim says, pain helps me see and opens up doors for me to reach higher dimensions, so I can embody a different perspective and be grateful for all the lessons that I gained from this. That's beautiful. Wow, Tim. Yeah, they say that there is no pleasure without pain, and there is no pain without pleasure. Some people put it in different ways, like no pain, no gain, that we grow through pain when we go through pain. You know, it's very interesting, this dynamic of pain and gain, that pain can often be a great teacher for us, giving us those lessons, in life that we never anticipated. But if not for that pain, if not for that contrast, could we know what joy feels? If not for the bad, could we know good? If not for the dark, could we experience light? You hear people, I'm sure you probably heard, like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Oh, it's all good. It's all good. That phrase, it's all good. But we know that sometimes it feels like it's not all good. It's not, right? Or you bump into somebody, hey, oh, my bad. Oh, no, bro, it's all good. It's all good, right? We say these things, but is that what we really mean? Is it all good? And would we be happy if it was all good? Think about it. If it was all good, right? If there were no turmoil, no struggle, no chaos, no adversities, no obstacles, no things in the way on the path, nothing to contrast, could we understand what good means, what good feels like? Would we know peace if not for pain, is my question. So I feel like there are no likes without dislikes. There is no bad without good. There is nothing righteous without evil. But these things are two sides of the same coin. Like the law of polarity, different degrees on the same spectrum. So it definitely puts things in perspective. Yes, Trevor says, in my worst moments, I felt more aware. Wow. In the worst moments, that brought awareness for you when times got tough, when times got hard, when you didn't know if you were going to make it out, you gain more awareness, Because I don't know about you, but when everything is all good and there is no struggle, I don't really learn as much from those times as I do when there's pressure, forming the diamond, bringing that diamond out. That's when I feel like I get those growth spurts, when I conquer the boss level in life. You achieve that goal, or whatever it is that you're going through. They say new levels, new devils, Whenever you get to another point, or you get to the peak of the mountain, you look up, there's another mountain. Your reward for completing this challenge is your next challenge, But what is that darkness within you? How do you nourish that darkness? How do you acknowledge your darkness? And how do you appreciate that darkness and be grateful for that darkness? Developing a relationship with your darkness so that you can flourish, blossom, and bloom in new ways. There were a lot of times in life that I was afraid of my own darkness. I didn't want to reveal. And so I was unable to heal that shadow self, that shadow side. But working with that, understanding these different aspects of yourself that other people might not know about you, but that's okay. You can still find ways to give yourself that love that you didn't receive in that way. Because who else to do it but you? Right, exactly. That's what we're talking about. Hey, Haruka-san. Haruka says, but aren't we meant to struggle in life? I wonder. That's a really interesting perception, and I'm learning a lot about that, And for me, it's twofold. Part of me feels like, yes, I accomplish things through struggle. I go through it, The obstacle in the way becomes the way. I go through adversity and I come out on the other side a new man, a new person, reborn. It's like, throw me to the wolves and I'll return leading the pack. That's that struggle, right? Okay, I got to go through this struggle, but I'm not going to be the same when I come out on the other side triumphant. What doesn't kill me makes me stronger. That kind of struggle, you know? And I enjoy that. There's a part of me that enjoys that because I don't know how I'm going to make it out of this. But suddenly, when I do make it out, I'm like, wow, whew, you know, it's awesome. But then the other side is, does there have to be struggle? And that's a part of me that I'm working with, that reframing that word of struggle. Do things have to be struggle? Do I have to be struggling? And part of me feels like, no, I don't have to, but I choose to. Sometimes we give ourselves these challenges because we crave it in a way. Subconsciously, if life were too easy, what would be the point? How would you learn if there was no struggle, if there was nothing to combat, nothing to compete with, nothing to get over? If we knew everything, there would be no room for growth. So I feel like we've been given many ways to learn. Trevor says, with no struggle, could we appreciate non-struggle? Wow. What a question. Haruka says, Buddha says the middle path is the way. So, here's what I think about the middle path. And I love that you brought that up, Haruka. It's like strumming the strings on a guitar. You tune up the guitar strings, right? Now, if you tune them not enough, if they're very loose, they play no sound. It's nothing. But if you tune them too tight, the strings might break, right? It might snap. So just enough, that Goldilocks level, right? Just right. And that's kind of like the middle path where you can play some beautiful music when you are centered. With temperance, they say everything in moderation. But is there really that work-life balance? Is there really that moderation? Do we really have that in life when you think about it? Or is it a mixture of things? Kind of like with harmony, the light and the dark. Even in the Tao, it says, know the white, keep to the black. Basically, know the light, but keep to the dark. Know the yang, that fire, but keep to the yin, that water, right? So if you were to mix like chocolate milk or something, make a mixture, you wouldn't put half milk, half powder, right? That'd be a bad mixture. But you put a little powder and then a lot more milk, and then you mix it. That's harmony. That's like that balance. So balance doesn't necessarily, for me, mean 50-50. Balance can mean 80-20, right? The 80-20 rule changed my life. 80% of the clothes in your closet, you only wear 20% of the time. 20% of your actions are getting you 80% of results. 20% of your friends, you talk to 80% of the time. 80% of your friends, you only associate with 20% of the time. You can use it anywhere you want. Tim says you can always find the light in the dark and the dark in the light, yin yang. Both is neither good or bad, but they are all parts of the truth that's within you, the truth that you already are. Yes, I love it. So this is what we're talking about. Would there be you truly? Would you be you without darkness? Just like there is light within you, we are light beings. Would we be us without dark? It's interesting we don't say, light and dark. We say peace be upon you, right? Namaste, peace and blessings. I bow to the divinity in you. Love and light, my friend, right? It's love and light, love and light. But where is that room for that darkness? Because it's only in the dark that we're able to see the light. How could we see the light without that contrast? When you're in the night and you look up, without that dark, you couldn't see the stars, right? They appear to us in darkness. You see the brightest stars in darkness. I love it. Hey there, thanks for joining. Haruka says, I also feel that we create our struggles unconsciously to bring us on this path. Exactly. So that's what I was saying. There's so many times where I feel like I created my own struggles. It's like I am in this video game and I am the boss, but I'm also the hero conquering the boss. I'm like I created the boss to beat on this level, Maury says, challenges are fun. Some are hard, others are painful. But what have we learned and grow from each of them? Exactly. It's like playing chess. I've learned way more from the times that I've lost than the times that I've won. Every time I've lost in the game of chess, I've really learned something new that I didn't know before. Something that taught me something that allowed me to see, when I see that pattern come around again, I remember, I made this choice the last time. I'm not going to make this choice this time. I'm going to make a different choice. So it's fun. Challenges are very fun. So I enjoy playing like Sudoku. So, oh man, y'all, there's so much nuance to this, and I really just enjoy speaking on these topics. But one more time for everyone joining, and if you're on the replay here, only in my pain did I find my will. Only in my chaos did I learn to be still. Only in my fear did I find my might. Only in my darkness did I see my light. So I challenge you to, throughout your day or throughout any time this week, just think to yourself, where are some ways that I can develop a relationship with my dark side? Not shunning it, right? Not pushing it away, but bringing it near, holding it dear, right? And really cultivating love for it, acknowledging it, realizing that it's there for a reason and it's a part of me. And that this is not something that I want to get rid of, but something that I can embrace. How can you embrace the darkness within you for you to see the light? Because there is no light without darkness. We are born from darkness. We come from darkness into the light. If it were all light, right? Like we say, love and light. If it were all light, it would be blinding. You couldn't see anything because there's no contrast. But if it was all dark, you also couldn't see anything. It'd just be a giant abyss, right? Just a black hole. So we need the yin and the yang. It's the little dark dot in the white, and it's the little white dot in the black, in the dark, yeah. So, to each his own. Hey there. Yes, grand rising to you. Oh, Maury said the dark side, the Venom movie. Yeah, it's like Venom, that movie, he's got that dark entity, the symbiote. I remember I used to read Spider-Man comics and Carnage and Venom, the symbiotes that would latch onto them. And it was almost like it was talking to them, manipulating them. They were in control, but so was it, So who is in control, do you feel? Do you feel there are times when your dark side comes out and you surrender, you relinquish control, you let go, and you just obey? Or do you have to keep your dark side in check, right? Or do you and your dark side work together? Are you a team? Do you play in tandem, right? If you were skydiving, would you be the skydiver hooked up in tandem with your dark side? Or is it your dark side hooked up with you, right? Is your dark side the one pulling the chute, lifting you back up, right? These are questions. So, hey everyone, appreciate you joining. Thank you so much. Much love. Oh, hey brother Omar. Yeah, I know you're gonna appreciate the replay if you watch it. So, much love, everyone. You know, this was just a short message, just coming to you this rising to get you to think just a little bit differently. Check out the podcast, The Open Palm. It's on all platforms. And you can check that. There's a link in the bio for it. Much love. Light and dark. All right. All right. Take care. Let me know if you enjoyed this, if you took a nugget from it, and let me know any topics that you would like for us to address next time. I say us like there's venom on my back. All right. Take care.